Random Access Memory (RAM). Random Access Memory (RAM) is a form of computer memory that can be read and changed in any order, typically used to store working data and machine code. A random access memory device allows data items to be read or written in almost the same amount of time irrespective of the physical location of data inside the memory. In contrast, with other direct access data storage media such as hard disks, CDRWs, DVD-RWs, and the older magnetic tapes and drum memory, the time required to read and write data items varies significantly depending on their physical locations on the recording medium, due to mechanical limitations such as media rotation speeds and arm movement. RAM contains multiplexing and demultiplexing circuitry to connect the data lines to the addressed storage for reading or writing the entry. Usually, more than one bit of storage is accessed by the same address, and RAM devices often have multiple data lines and are said to be 8-bit or 16-bit, etc. devices. In today's technology, random access memory takes the form of integrated circuit (IC) chips with MOS metal oxide semiconductor memory cells. RAM is normally associated with volatile types of memory such as dynamic random access memory (DRAM) modules, where stored information is lost if power is removed, although non-volatile RAM has also been developed. Other types of non-volatile memories exist that allow random access for reading operations, but either do not allow write operations or have other kinds of limitations on them. These include most types of ROM and a type of flash memory called NOR flash. The two main types of volatile random access semiconductor memory are static random access memory (SRAM) and dynamic random access memory (DRAM). Commercial uses of semiconductor RAM date back to 1965, when IBM introduced the SP95 SRAM chip for their System 360 Model 95 computer, and Toshiba used DRAM memory cells for its Toscal BC1411 electronic calculator, both based on bipolar transistors. Commercial MOS memory, based on MOS transistors, was developed in the late 1960s and has since been the basis for all commercial semiconductor memory. The first commercial DRAM IC chip, the Intel 1103, was introduced in October 1970. Synchronous Dynamic Random Access Memory (SDRAM) later debuted with the Samsung KM48SL2000 chip in 1992. The two widely used forms of modern RAM are static RAM (SRAM) and dynamic RAM (DRAM). In SRAM, a bit of data is stored using the state of a 6-transistor memory cell, typically using 6 MOSFETs metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors. This form of RAM is more expensive to produce, but is generally faster and requires less dynamic power than DRAM. In modern computers, SRAM is often used as a cache memory for the CPU. DRAM stores a bit of data using a transistor and capacitor pair, typically a MOSFET and MOS capacitor, respectively, which together comprise a DRAM cell. The capacitor holds a high or low charge, 1 or 0, respectively, and the transistor acts as a switch that lets the control circuitry on the chip read the capacitor's state of charge or change it. As this form of memory is less expensive to produce than static RAM, it is the predominant form of computer memory used in modern computers. Both static and dynamic RAM are considered volatile, as their state is lost or reset when power is removed from the system. By contrast, read-only memory (ROM) stores data by permanently enabling or disabling selected transistors, such that the memory cannot be altered. Writable variants of ROM, such as EEPROM and flash memory, share properties of both ROM and RAM, enabling data to persist without power and to be updated without requiring special equipment. These persistent forms of semiconductor ROM include USB flash drives, memory cards for cameras and portable devices, and solid-state drives. ECC memory, which can be either SRAM or DRAM, includes special circuitry to detect and/or correct random faults, memory errors, in the stored data, using parity bits or error correction codes. In general, the term RAM refers solely to solid-state memory devices, either DRAM or SRAM, and more specifically the main memory in most computers. In optical storage, the term DVD-RAM is somewhat of a misnomer since unlike CDR-W or DVD-RW, it does not need to be erased before reuse. Nevertheless, a DVD-RAM behaves much like a hard disk drive if somewhat slower. Please subscribe, like video, share, comment and click bell icon for upcoming videos.